Hello everyone and welcome to my Ultimate Sorcerer's Garden guide. In this guide I'm going to cover how to get to the Sorcerer's Garden, how to go through all the Sorcerer's Garden mazes, and all the experience that you guys should expect from each maze. Now the Sorcerer's Garden minigame consists of 4 different kind of mazes. The first maze is the Winter Maze, which you don't need any thieving levels. And the second maze is the Spring, which you need 25 thieving. The third one is Autumn, which you need 45 thieving. And the fourth one is the Summer, for which you need 65 thieving. So before you'll be able to access the Sorcerer's Garden minigame, the first thing you'll have to do is complete the Princess Ellie's rescue quest. Once you complete that quest, the next thing you have to do is speak to Osman. He's going to be located over here on the northern side of the Elkared Castle. Talk to him and ask him to get him some squirt juice. After that, go to the right, go south, and keep going to this building over here. Once you arrive here, the next thing that you have to do is speak to the apprentice in here that's wandering inside the house, and keep talking to her until a point that she'll be able to teleport you inside the minigame. Once you're inside the minigame, you'll arrive there, and there should be 4 mazes in here, as you guys can see. Now there's a fountain over here. If you guys want to leave, just click on the fountain like this and you'll be able to leave right away. Now once you arrive to the Sorcerer's Garden, this is where all the mazes are going to be located. So the western one is going to be the winter one, the southern one is going to be the autumn one, the eastern one is going to be the spring one, and the northern one is going to be the summer one. So there are 2 different kind of things that you guys can do in this mini game. The first thing is going through the maze and harvesting the tree to get a fruit. Now once you guys get that fruit, you'll be teleported out of the maze and you have to start over to get another fruit. So you can get 1 fruit per each maze, and once you guys pick the fruits, you guys get farming experience. And then once you guys get the right amount of fruits, you can use a pestle and mortar to squeeze them into a glass and turn them into Osman. Now the second thing that you can do is pick herbs from a farming patch. Now basically, the farming patch sometimes are going to be located before the tree, and sometimes they're going to be located in completely opposite direction. Now, once you guys pick the farming patch, you'll be able to get 2 cleaned random herbs. Now, those herbs are going to, well, basically, the chances of getting a higher level herb is going to increase depending on which maze you do. So the higher the maze, the higher chance you'll have to be able to get the higher level herbs. Now this minigame is going to be especially useful for Ultimate Ironman accounts that can't use the bank, and this place is going to be the best place that you guys can use to train your farming and herblore experience. Now let's begin with the mazes. For the first maze, which is going to be the winter maze, we do not need any requirements, and this is how you get through it. Now wait for the elemental that goes around in here. Once he starts circling around in here, then you can go after it over here, and we're gonna keep going. And we're going to stop here. Now we'll have to move to this corner really quickly because the elemental that circles around over here is going to around, and he's going to see you if you stay in that spot. So as you can see, he was going by and he would have teleported you out. So make sure you try to move to this corner as quick as possible. Now we're going to wait for this elemental to start circling around, and be careful for this one as well. And we're going to move to this spot next. So as soon as this one goes around, we'll start running after this one. Just keep going around like this and stop at this corner over here. And after this, it's really easy. Just wait for this elemental to go past the spot and just go over here and you'll arrive at the tree. So you can either pick the tree, and if you pick the tree for the fruit, you'll get 30 farming experience, or you can go to a farming patch over here, which you can pick for herbs as well. Now, the amount of fruit that you'll need for this maze is 5 different kinds of winter fruits. Once you get 5 fruits, you can squeeze them into the glass and you can churn them in for 350 experience to Osman. Now, per each fruits, we get 70 experience. Now, the amount of time that it should take you guys to complete the winter's maze is about anywhere from 18 seconds to 25 seconds. And now, if you guys are picking the fruits from the tree, you guys should be able to get about from 4,000 to 5,400 farming XP per hour, as well as 9,000 to 12k thieving XP per hour. And if you guys are picking the herbs, you guys should be able to get about 6k farming experience and about 2 to 5k experience for herblore once you make those herbs into pots. Now, if you guys started the Sorcerer's Garden minigame from level 1 thieving, it should only take you guys about 40 minutes before you can get level 25 to move on to the spring maze. So now that you guys got 25 thieving, the next thing that we're going to move on to the spring maze. So this is how we're going to do the spring maze. So it's pretty simple. Now we're going to wait for this elemental to start moving back, and we're going to go to this hiding spots over here and wait until it bounces off the wall a bit. And once it passes you guys, we're going to run to this exact spot over here. So be very careful not to go one spot further. If you go to this spot, Elemental will be able to see you, and he's going to teleport you out. Now the tricky part about this is, as you can see, this Elemental over here that I'm pointing my arrow to, it's going to start moving backwards. As soon as it starts moving backwards, we'll have to try to go and run and hide into this corner over here. So wait until these guys move around. And don't start running. Make sure you see that he's now moving towards you. So you'll have to get enough time. So there we go. This is perfect. Start moving, and we should be able to easily make it in here. There we go. Now we'll have to wait for this guy to start crossing. We're gonna go in here. Then we can just hide in this corner if you like, or you can still keep hiding in here. Now for this one, it's going to be pretty close. So make sure this Elemental doesn't see you. Then we'll go after this one. And you should be able to make it. And like I said, it's going to be pretty close. And there's the fruits. And if you guys are trying to get the herbs, they're down there. Now, the time it should take you guys to complete the Spring Garden is anywhere from 30 to 40 seconds. And calculating by that amount of time, we should be able to get about 4k farming XP per hour if you guys are picking the fruits, and as well as 30 to 40k thieving XP per hour as well if you're picking the fruits. And anywhere from 2k till about 5.5k herbal XP per hour. Now for the spring fruit, we will need to get 4 fruits before we can squeeze it into a glass, and once we turn it into osmium, we will get 1350 XP. Now if you guys are doing the spring mace starting from level 25 thieving, it should take you guys about 1.5 to 2 hours to be able to get to the next mace, which is going to be the autumn. Now the next mace that we're going to do is the autumn mace, and for this one we will need 45 thieving, so let's get through it. Now this mace is going to be really simple to do. This elemental goes pretty far, so once it hits the wall, you guys can just run through it really quickly. And this line is going to be very simple to do. And now once it goes away, then we're going to go over here into this corner and just wait for this one a little bit. So as soon as this one hits and it goes about to this part, we're going to run to this part over here. We're going to stop. Now this is where it gets a bit tricky. So for this one, you will need to wait for them to bounce up together like that, and then you will need to run. So for this one, you'll barely make it, barely make it a lot of times. Now for this one, it's going to be really simple. Just wait for this one to go around and go to this one after. Then just go into this corner and here. And for this one, we'll have to wait until the elementals pretty much come closer together like this. Now once this one goes away, just stop in here and go slowly after it. And you'll be able to enter the maze over here. And there we go. And here's the herbs over there. So for this one, it's going to be a bit more trickier. So all you have to do is just go to the side over here and then come up to this part. Once it goes back into there, then you'll be able to get yourself some herbs. Now the amount of time it should take you guys to complete the autumn maze is anywhere from 44 to about 50 to 52 seconds. The autumn maze is by far the hardest maze in all of the mazes here. And so if we count everything out, it should be about 3.6k farming XP per hour if you guys are picking the fruits, and as well as 45k to 55k experience thieving XP, and as well as about 2.5k till about up to 6k herbal XP per hour. Now for the autumn fruits, we will need to get 3 fruits before we squeeze it into the glass, and when we squeeze into the glass, we can get 2350 experience from Osman. Now if you started doing the autumn maze all the way from level 45 thieving, it should take you guys about anywhere from 6 to about 7 to 7.5 hours to be able to get level 65 thieving to move on to the summer maze. For the last and final maze, which is going to be the summer maze, we will need 65 thieving to access it, and this is how we get through. So as soon as we come in, we just hide over here and we wait for this elemental to go bounce the wall over here, and we just hide in here. Once it bounces off the wall, we go in here. The next thing we hide is next to this wall. Wait for this one a bit, then we're going to hide in here. Then we're just going to run south a bit in here. As soon as this one bounces off this wall over here, we're going to run, and we can stop over here. Now for this one, you can go anytime. As you can see, he went that way. A lot of times you can still make it. He's going to go through here, then we can just run and make it up to here. And sometimes what he does is, he goes through in here as well, like this, and you can still make it from this side as well. So do it however you like. Now over here, we just wait for this one over here, and if you want to get the herbs, they're right over here. The next thing we do is just hide in here, and then after that, we can just go through like this. Now, if you go a bit too late over here, after this goes over here, and you start seeing this coming up close to you, you can just go around him. So he's going to be going slowly like this, and you can just slowly go around him like that, and you'll be able to get to this fruit over here. Now for the final maze, it should take you guys about 30 to 40 seconds to complete it, and the amount of XP that we get from this maze is about 5 to 6.5k farming experience, and about 100 to 140k thieving k experience per hour. Now for Herbler, this maze is different from any other mazes because in this maze usually you get high level herbs pretty often, and you can get anywhere from about, I would say, 4 to 10k herbal HP per hour, but it will also depend on your herbal level if you can even make those herbs into the potions as well. Now the amount of fruits that we'll need for this maze is just 2 fruits, and once you get 2 fruits you'll be able to squeeze into a glass and turn it into osmond for 3k XP. And that's it for my Sorcerer's Garden guides. I hope that you guys enjoy, have fun training, and if you guys have any more suggestions for me on what other guides I can make sure to leave them in the comments below. And other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see everyone later.